Rob. How's it going, man?
Hey, brother. Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Good to see you. Hopefully you can hear me okay.
You too, man. Yep, I got you loud
Yeah.
and clear.
Hey, so today we got Rob Bailey here, who is a client of ours, has one VA working full time for him now, and we're setting up a second one actually as we speak. We're getting her all dialed in. Really, what I want you to share is just kind of what your experience is using a virtual assistant, why you chose to use a virtual assistant, and start off by kind of telling people what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So we own a training program. Basically, it's a training program for agency owners, specifically lead gen agency owners. And we help them get set up with a lead nurturing system using a specific software that we helped develop and with specific trainings that help them scale to six figures per month and beyond. So pretty niche thing, but as you know, you're in the program. But yeah, that's who we help. And we've got a small team of two people here in the States, here in San Diego. And then we've got one virtual assistant and we're adding another one through your service here any day now.
Awesome, cool, man. And so what's it like using a virtual assistant in your business as it stands now? I mean, you came from like the full-on agency employee model, and how's it changed? And what's kind of changed to get you to the point where outsourcing is kind of how you do your business now?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, to be honest, I've hired outsourcers before and had mixed results. But to be honest, I resisted doing that when we just sold an agency. It was like a seven-figure a year agency, and we had a lot of folks who were here in the States, stateside, and it was kind of a mess, to be honest. Like we had 12 team members at one point, and they were all virtual, which is just the way I decided to run my business. And there's lots of benefits to going all virtual, but we had people in different states with different laws, employment laws, and so forth. And one of the biggest efficiencies that I think we gained by hiring an outsourcer this time was that we could afford to hire somebody to do a very, very specific task and not have to feel like we had to just squeeze every last, piece of efficiency out of them. So for example, we hired Michelle, the person you connected us with through your service. And she's got a very, very specific role within our agency. Whereas before we had a ton of people doing a lot of different things because
Right.
we're paying them so much. We kind of had to have them being doing a ton of stuff for us. So that's kind of been the biggest change, I would say.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we can have them specialize and help us with one specific thing. In this case, it's a program manager. So it's, great for a remote worker.
Right. That sounds perfect. So if I'm hearing you right, I mean, you're saying specificity and like really a specialized person that can do one, not necessarily just one thing, but one kind of focus where they're doing just that. And the affordability by outsourcing makes it possible to have one person do the one thing better than everybody rather than squeezing.
Yeah, exactly. So specifically, like in California, the employment laws are such that, and the taxes are such that, I have to make about $3 for every $1 that I'm paying out to employees. So if I'm paying an employee, let's just call it 50 grand a year, I have to make them at least $150,000 a year efficient for it to be worth it to even have them like employed by me. That's the bottom line.
That's even simple admin tasks and that are non-revenue generating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm in California too, so I feel the pain.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
yeah. But I mean, the great part is I mean, obviously outsourcing has kind of eliminated a lot of that and made it very simple that when you're hiring somebody to do something, it's a very cut and dry dollar figure. You're buying a service, that's that. And then kind of on the end of it, like it's tax deductible.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
write-off.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably talk forever about the tax benefits.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
But it's like, I think just the affordability of having somebody who's super reliable and super talented and just being able to like have that focus and that like clear outcome that you want for them to perform on is like the key. That's most of it. And so, but when you add in all that other stuff, the math of it, it's like, it's a no-brainer. It's like I need very little production from RVAs to make it worth it for us, which is fantastic.
Yeah, awesome. And how's the rest of the team enjoying working with Michelle? So I
It's
saw a
great.
little post Haplin was loving it, but I thought I'd ask you.
Yeah. So my team loves it because, she's incredibly smart, incredibly capable. She picks things up faster than even I would. I mean, she's super, super, capable, right?
Yeah.
And so she's added to our team. It hasn't been like dead weight where we're like, oh my gosh, we got to teach this person everything. Like she's picked things up so fast that she's kind of like, okay, what's next? Or, hey, I found a better way to do this. Do you want me to do that? I'm like, yes, do that, please. Awesome. It's been more situations like that than we can count. So it's been really good for us, man. Like our whole team is fully bought in, which is important. And she's just like another part of the team. Most of the time we work virtually. I met with 2 team members here today, but she's in on all these, virtual team meetings like I'm having with you right now. She's in on all of those, and she's a part of our team, full blown.
That's great. That's great. So, all right. So what advice would you give somebody who's maybe on the fence on hiring a virtual assistant? There's a lot of reasons to be on the fence. They're in a foreign country. They're, are they capable enough? My argument always comes back to somebody having a degree here versus having a degree there doesn't necessarily make somebody more or less capable. So what would you help advise somebody if they're thinking about hiring a virtual assistant to kind of, let them know that it's okay or it's a good fit? I mean, because there's a lot of fear around it.
Yeah, I would just say the biggest thing that you should be fearful of is if you yourself or your processes and systems are not up to snuff. That's the number one killer for making that a bad recipe. It's actually you. So
yeah.
We came to Michelle, or she called, we'll call it Mitch. She said, "Hey Mitch, here's the detail of the program manager role. We've got some systems and processes that are already documented, and then we've got some that we're going to teach you, and then hopefully you can document those for us or with us." And that was the first step that we took. So our role in it was that we set her up for success. I think that's the biggest thing that you should be fearful of if you're going to be fearful of it. But if you're like, I've already figured this out, right? I've already figured this out, but I want to get it off my plate or get it off of one of my other team members' plates, that's when you're like, I'm ready, right? Because awesome. I've already figured out the variables. I just need to teach it to somebody who's capable. That's the biggest fear that you should have. But to be honest, we're hiring another VA through you, soon, days away, right?
Yeah, so, I think tomorrow or the next day it starts.
Sweet, that's good news for me today. Thank you. But outside of that, there's not a whole lot of reasons why you shouldn't. You should at least try it, because I think the misconception is that folks in far off places might be less capable, but I've found that that's just a myth. Right. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
So
okay, cool. So what kind of freedom do you have in your life these days that you're really doing everything remote? How's that working?
Well, we're in San Diego.
Because you're in San Diego now, but you don't live in San Diego anymore.
No.
So how's
No, but this is my view.
All right, that's a nice view. I can't do that. I'm in my guest house, so you can see there's a playhouse behind me. But you and I vibe on the same thing with the freedom, and being home is what I wanted. So how's life changed for you since really going remote, getting rid of brick and mortar and all that?
Yeah, the biggest thing I would say with that is that I'm a family man. I got 3 small kids. I've talked about this a bunch, but have a nice view. That's cool. Being able to travel, that's cool. But for me, it's I don't have to worry about as many things. If my kid gets sick, or I want to go pick them up from school, or if they've got a swim practice or baseball practice, whatever the case may be, I could just go because I have less to worry about. I just don't have to feel like I'm stuck in any one place, or feel like I have to get it all done myself. And so really that's the biggest freedom change that's happened, is it just allows me to have peace of mind that the business stuff is still getting taken care of, and I can spend more time with my family as an entrepreneur. So
it's awesome. Yeah. Well, cool, man. I'm pumped to have you around, and obviously we've gone back and forth for a while, so this is exciting. So thanks again for your time. I know Mitch loves working with you guys, so she keeps telling us over and over that we got to bring more people in to work with Rob, because that's a good crew. So obviously you're getting another one. I think it's either tomorrow or the next day. So you guys will have your next VA coming on.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we've had nothing but a good experience. So
awesome.
Appreciate you,
cool,
man.
Well, I appreciate your time, and let's catch up soon.
You got it, brother. Cheers.
All right, see ya.
Yeah, man.